Hi, good day everyone. We are Group 1, and today we will delve into the fascinating world of flame test. A flame test is a technique used to identify metal ions based on the distinct colors they impart to a flame. To guide our discussion, we have outlined the following: introduction, objectives, materials, and procedures. And now I will turn the mic over to our esteemed reporters to present their insights.
Flame test is a fascinating method used by chemists to identify metal ions and compounds. So the picture shows the origin of color in flame test. The color originates from the movement of electrons in the metal ion. So when a metal ion is heated, its electrons absorb energy and jump into higher energy levels. These excited electrons are unstable and they tend to fall back down to their original energy levels. As they fall back down, they release the absorbed energy in the form of light. The color of the light emitted depends on the energy difference between the excited and the ground state of electrons. So different metal ions have different energy levels and it results in different colors of light. Upon reverting to their initial state, they emit energy in the form of light. The color of this light is determined by the energy difference between the high and low energy levels, which is unique for each element. For example, sodium ions produce a bright yellow flame, while copper ions emits a green flame. So additionally, this method is valuable because it quickly and simply identifies metal ions without the use of complex instruments, and it is also often used with other methods to confirm its metal presence.
At the end of this laboratory activity, the student will able to first learn how to conduct flame tests safely using common laboratory chemicals. Student will learn the proper and safe techniques for performing flame tests using common lab chemicals. This includes safety precaution and the correct use of equipment. Second, observe and record the color produced by various metal ions when placed in a flame. Student will observe and meticulously record the characteristic colors produced by different metal ions when introduced to a flame. Lastly, use the observed colors to identify unknown metal ions in a given samples. Using the knowledge gained from observing the colors of known metal ions, students will be able to identify unknown metal ions in provided samples by comparing the flame colors produced. This demonstrates their understanding of the relationship between metal ions and their flame test colors.
In this experiment, we need to have these materials: metal ion solutions, nichrome wire, and small test tubes. Each material serves an important purpose. So, for the metal ion solutions, we need to have lithium chloride, sodium chloride, calcium chloride, strontium chloride, copper chloride, and barium chloride. These solutions contain the metal ions that produce unique flame colors, allowing us to identify each metal. The nichrome wire The nichrome wire is used to transfer the solutions to the flame because it's durable and doesn't interfere with the results. Finally, the small test tubes are essential for holding and organizing the solutions, making them easy to access during the test. Together, these materials ensure the accuracy and efficiency of the flame test.
Procedure 1. Fill the test tubes with 5 to 10 drops of metal ion solutions. Why 5 to 10 drops? When we do a flame test, we want to see a clear color. If we put too little liquid, the color might be too faint to see. If we put too much, the flame might be too strong and hide the color. So 5 to 10 drops is just right. This way, we can easily identify the metal in the liquid by the color of the flame. Procedure 2. Dip a wire loop into a metal ion solution. Dipping a wire loop into a metal ion solution is a necessary step in flame testing because it allows us to transfer a small sample of the solution onto the wire, which is then introduced to a flame to excite the metal ions and produce characteristic colors.
Procedure 3. After dipping the wire loop to the metal ion solution, place it above the Bunsen burner and observe its color. After observing, record it in the data table that you have provided. After this, clean the wire loop, make sure that it's totally clean and no any flame color remain, as stated in the procedure 4. Do this in all sample until finish. Procedure 5. Another procedure is using a diffraction grating slide. This is optional but important as the purpose of this experiment is to identify the presence of particular metal ion. In order for us to identify the presence of the specific element in metal ion, we need to use a diffraction grating slide. First is grab a diffraction grating slide. Place it between your eyes and the flame, as a distance about 10 to 20 cm from the eye. Next is adjust it by slowly rotating or tilt to find the best angle for observing the diffraction pattern. While observing the color of the flame, you can see that the element has a unique emission spectrum. The flame emits light at specific wavelengths corresponding to the energy transition of an atom or ion in the flame. These wavelengths appears as bright lines. Each line corresponds to a particular energy transition in the atoms and can be used to identify the element present in the flame. The position and color of these lines help identify the elements based on their unique emission spectra or emission lines.
Hi guys, my name is Axel Wasil Dennis Biluching and I am your future RMT. So in this slide, I am going to discuss to you how we are going to answer the data table. As you can see in the table, we have 6 different columns. So first, the hashtag sign, which indicates the number of the item. Next is the compound name, or the name of the compound that we are going to observe. Next is compound formula. Next is the metal ion. Then the color of the solution, and lastly the flame color. Since we already know the different indicators, let us try to answer the first compound. So the first compound is lithium chloride. So let us identify the compound formula of lithium chloride. In identifying the compound formula of lithium chloride, all you have to do is look for the elements that is present in the compound. So what are the present elements in the compound? We have the lithium and the chlorine. So since we identified the elements that are present in that compound, let us look in the periodic table what are the chemical symbols of those elements. So first, the lithium. So the chemical symbol of lithium is uppercase L and lowercase I, while in the chlorine is capital letter C and lowercase l. Since we already know the chemical symbols, let us write down the chemical symbols for the compound formula. So all you have to write is the chemical symbols. So just write Li and Cl. So that is our compound formula. Next is the metal ion. In order to identify what is the metal ion of a compound, what we are going to do is just to identify what is the metal ion that is in the compound. So the metal ion in the compound is lithium, so which means you are going to write the chemical symbol and the charge of that element. So in the lithium we have the positive charge, so we are going to write Li, then positive sign in the upper right corner. Next is the color of the solution. So since we are conducting an experiment in compound solutions, all you have to do is to write the color of the solution that is observed in the solution. It means if the color of the solution is color red, you are going to write color red. And if it is colorless, then write colorless. And lastly, the flame color. So, since this is a flame test, so we are going to observe what is the color of the flame of the compound solution. So for example, if the result of the flame color in lithium chloride is crimson red, then you are going to write crimson red. If it is blue, then you are going to write color blue. Then voila, you are done answering the data table.
There are guide questions that you need to answer. And these are the following questions. Number 1, what is ion? Number 2, explain what happened to an atom's electrons when they take in heat from a spark. What makes this create a bright line emission spectrum instead of a continuous spectrum? Number 3, how does the shape of an atom explain the fact that each metal ion makes a flame of a different color? Number 4, what challenge arise when attempting to identify metal ions using a flame test? What methods could be employed to enhance the precise detection of metal ions in a flame test? Number 5, what might be some practical applications of metal-containing compounds that create different colors of light while burning? Explain.
In conclusion, flame tests are a cool way to identify different metals. When you put a metal in a hot flame, it gives off a specific color of light. Each metal has its own special color. On the other hand, we have explored the fascinating world of flame tests. We have learned how different metal ions, when excited by heat, and emit distinct colors of light. This unique property allows us to identify unknown substances based on their characteristic flame colors. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening.